Shahar Azani, and welcome to this JBS Israel Election Special, coming to you all the way from Israel. We are in the city of Kiryat Ono, a suburb of Tel Aviv, where behind me, Israelis have been casting their votes since early morning. Interestingly enough, the school is named after the late Yoni Netanyahu of blessed memory, the brother of Israel's opposition leader, Benjamin Netanyahu, who is vying for premiership once more in this round of elections. So far, up to 10 a.m. Israel time this morning, almost 16% of Israelis have already cast their vote. That is the highest percentage of Israelis casting their votes since 1981. At that time in the morning. What does that mean in an election that will be decided on a mere few thousand votes? As Mark and I have been discussed elaborately in the past few weeks on JBS, we are talking about a situation where quite few parties within Israel may not pass the electoral threshold. That will have a significant effect on the composition of Israel's next coalition. Does that mean that Israelis are very aware of that fact and that's the reason they're coming to vote? It still remains to be seen what that percentage will look like at the end of the day. But as they say in every vibrant democracy, so far, so good. It's also worth noting that in Israel, a celebration of democracy is also manifested in a day off. Election day is a day off for students and for employees all over the country. People can take their time going to the shopping malls or the beaches. As you can see, it's a perfect weather. And yet, the lines continue to amass behind me, especially as we proceed towards the night where traditionally we're seeing more and more Israelis who are coming to cast their votes. We took this opportunity, as we're here, to listen to Israelis and see how they feel about this fifth round of elections, considering we may face a sixth one. What do they think about as they cast their vote, and what do they hope to achieve as a result of this round and with regards to the stagnation and stalemate of the Israeli political system? Let's see how they feel about this. Hi, Idan. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
So, allow me to ask you, how are you feeling about voting in this fifth round of Israeli elections?
Well, first, it's my first time voting because I became 18 just after the fourth election. So, I guess most Israelis who did vote for 5 elections were quite frustrated because they need to go to the ballot polls for 5 times in a row. But it's sad, but I'm fine with that. Most people don't care anymore.
Are you excited about voting for the first time?
Yes.
And when you say most people don't care anymore, what do you mean?
Well, what I mean by saying that most people don't really care is that when you have one election, okay, it's fine. It happens in a democratic country. Then you have another election, and people say, whoa, it's kind of weird because why do we need to go twice? Because the government the politicians didn't manage to form a government. Then 3 times, and then 4 times, and then 5 times, people just, instead of being like frustrated, they pretend like it's normal.
And what are you hoping for is going to come out of this round of elections?
Well, we need to be first realistic, and we can be optimistic and we can be realistic. The optimistic scenario is that there is a government, but the realistic scenario is that we probably won't have a government because the blocks, they're just divided. There isn't much movement in between the 2 blocks.
And as far as you're concerned, do you think this is your first time voting? Do you think the next time you're going to vote is going to come soon?
I definitely think that the next time I'll vote will be very, very soon.
Idan, I have to ask you, what bothers you when you go to the polls? What do you think about are the issues that trouble most of you and your friends?
Okay, so in terms of actual issues, there are a few, but I will rank it this is my personal opinion. I will rank it like this. First, ideology. Ideology kind of does worry me. Second, military. Security is not really much of an issue because, whether it's Meretz or like Meretz and Bibi, if Hamas or someone else shoots a rocket from Gaza to Israel, there will be some sort of response that will be probably be similar. You see, It's also other relevant issues are the cost of living, which becomes higher and higher every year. If you go on a vacation to Italy, Greece, Austria, anywhere in the EU, for example, you will find that the prices for eating out in a restaurant are just drastically lower than in Israel. And for what? What is the value for your money? Your money here doesn't come as far as in other places. Cost of living is an issue. The division across the factions in our country is quite a worrying thing. People here are pro-Bibi, anti-Bibi. It's not as drastic or severe as the United States. Like, people can't talk with other people because of disagreements about Trump and the Republican Party. But it is quite severe, and it's a saddening status quo.
Thank you so much, Idan. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
So we are here with Sharon, who is a young Israeli voter casting her ballot in this election. Sharon, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you that you're coming today.
Of course. I first want to ask you, what's your feeling about this round of elections?
I feel a little frustrated because I feel that there is election every year or even several times in a year. There is election in Israel that just cause to waste of money, confusion.
You know, I know that a lot of Israelis have a difficult time deciding who they're going to vote for. So you don't have to tell us who you're voting for, but will you tell us who you're voting for?
I don't know. I still don't know who is the party that present my thought about what happened in Israel.
So you're saying that you're not sure who you're going to vote for even today?
Yes. No party really represent me.
So you feel that your voice is not heard with the existing lineup of Israeli parties?
Yeah.
And do you think that this is a feeling that is shared by many in your generation?
Yeah. I think that a lot of friends tell me that they're not sure which party do the best thing for their life. I don't know.
So when you're talking about life, what is the most important thing for you? What do you think about when you're going to vote?
I think that as a young woman in Israel, it's very difficult to live here without help, especially financial help from home, from my parents, from my family. It's very difficult to exist, and I very concerned about what happened in my future, like in my friend's future.
So this concern is shared not just by you, but also your generation, your peers, your friends today.
Yeah, I heard my friends with a lot of financial problems that didn't know what to do in their situations.
And what do you think about the chances of a sixth round of elections?
I don't know. I hope that the situation change and maybe a new government bring a new change for Israel. But I don't feel safe and stable today.
The call for stability. Thank you so much, Sharon, for speaking with us today. Your message is heard loud and clear.
Thank you.
And good luck. Hope good things come out of this election.
Thank you very much.
My name is Noam, and I think the politics in Israel is very bad. If I had the opportunity to vote, I probably do not vote. I would not vote, because I think there is Ardad Mukhtar. She calls me every day. I don't like her very much, but I don't think anybody can be the prime minister in Israel. I don't think there is a right man that can be the prime minister.
So right now you can't vote, but if you could, you still wouldn't vote.
Yes, I think, but if there is one man, I think Lapid. But it's small chance.
What troubles you the most? Why are you so frustrated about politics in Israel?
I don't know. I think there has been a lot of mess in the past couple of years, and I don't think right now there is the right man to fix that. This whole mess with the COVID and all that stuff, I don't think there is a right man to fix that all the problems.
And what do you think about Benjamin Netanyahu?
I don't know what I think about Benjamin Netanyahu. I think he will win the Bchirot, but I wouldn't vote to him.
What about Itamar Ben-Gvir?
I have no words about Itamar Ben-Gvir. I have no words about him.
In support or you're against him?
I don't support it, I'm not against him. In the middle, I don't know what's my opinion about him.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we are here with Ilan, who is about to cast his vote in this fifth round of Israeli election. How are you, Ilan?
Great, thank you very much.
So how are you feeling about voting today?
Well, I would have liked not to vote, have more stability, but we'll do what we have to do.
I know Israelis' vote is confidential, and yet maybe you'll be willing to share with us who are you going to vote for?
I'm not going to vote for the Bibi part of the scenery here. But yes, it's confidential and it's going to stay like that.
Who are you hoping will be the next prime minister?
Or Benny Gantz, or Yair Lapid. Anything is better from what we are looking for.
And when you're saying what we're looking for, what do you think most Israelis are troubled or bothered by?
I don't think that it came up in the election, but I think that the economic situation is troubling.
The economic situation. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Thank you very much.
Good luck voting.
Thanks.
So we are here with Judy and Saul. Saul, who voted for the first time ever in Israel's elections. How are you feeling, Saul?
Good.
So may I ask you, who did you vote for?
I voted for Yair Lapid.
And how are you feeling about voting in these elections?
Good. I'm feeling proud and it's so exciting.
It is. It really is exciting. So, Judy, what do you have to tell us about voting in these elections? What's most important for you in casting your vote?
Well, for me, most important is the change, and I do hope to see the current leadership continuing. I'm very proud to be an Israeli citizen voting, and it's a true celebration for democracy.
And when you're saying change, you refer to the current coalition government?
Yes, I 100% support the current coalition government, and I would like to see continuation of the change they started in Israel.
What do you think is the most important topic that troubles many Israelis today?
The most important topic now, the thing that bothers most of Israeli now is how expensive it is to live in Israel. Everything is on a daily basis rising, prices are rising, and it's really not proportional to the wages and the amount we earn here.
You know, it's incredible to hear you say this, Judy, because for so many of the viewers out there, the topics that are preeminent when it comes to Israel is the Palestinian issue, the Iranian issue, and here we are talking about what is referred to here as HaChaim Atzmam, life itself.
All right, so the security issue is always bothers everybody here, and it's important to feel secure in your own country. But on the other side, we do have the daily living side that we need to take care of. A lot of things that has to do with education, a lot of things that has to do with the health, and just we want to see some change. 12 years we had Bibi Netanyahu here, and things are not good as they should be.
And in your view, the desired result would be the continuation of, as Saul said, Yair Lapid's premiership.
Right.
And last question.
Yair Lapid or Gantz might be good as well.
And let me ask you one last question. What is it about Yair Lapid that puts him first as far as you're concerned?
Well, he's not a liar. You know, so far I hadn't seen any lies, and he's an honest man, and I do believe in change he can make.
It seems you and Saul together. So congratulations in this Israeli celebration of democracy, and thank you so much for speaking to us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with David. How are you, David?
I'm good, thank you.
So you are voting in today's elections?
Yeah, I'm student that I'm so frustrated with the situation in Israel, and I voted for the right party because we are in a situation that
it's very hard to live here. I speak about I think that we are in the economic crisis and the security crisis here, and I voted for Benjamin Netanyahu, my prime minister. I think that is the best person that is in a situation that can do a lot of things in order to give us our protection. I speak that is the person that is an expert of the economic things and the security things. And for me, I speak that it will be the last elections that I have to go for voting. And I'm hoping that Bibi Netanyahu will take the voice and to gain the elections again. But the problem here in Israel is to build the government. So I hope the best for our country and our hometown. Thank you very much.
Do you think that Benjamin Netanyahu stand a chance at breaching the stalemate and reaching the majority he needs to establish a stable coalition?
I don't know. It's very complicated because we are speaking about the security crisis and the economic crisis, and we have a lot of the parties from the right and left. I'm so scared that Bibi Netanyahu will go to left and seek in order to establish the government. We have to give up about these things. I'm so scared from the security crisis in order to go free and insecure in the streets, and I think that he will do something in order to re-election, regain the forces of Israel, and I hope that will be fine. I hope that Bibi Netanyahu will get these things in order to do that the best. I think the best person.
Thank you very much, David.
Thank you very much.
We are here with Ilana, who is coming to cast her vote in today's elections. How are you, Ilana?
I'm okay. Very hopeful that, the party I'm going to vote for will win. Although we are in a very, very frustrating situation because it's our 5th election in 3 years, and each time our country is really, really, really separated in half are more leftish, half are more to the right, and it's very problematic to form a coalition. So me and we all hope that there will be some kind of decision, that the people will, although it doesn't seem that they move too much between the two camps, but hopefully there will be a situation that we will be able to stop the frequent elections and have our next elections in 4 years, because we will be able to form, our politicians, to form a stable government. And there is a lot for the government to do, but they have to have a stable mandate to do what it's needed to do in the economy, in our security situation, politically, etc.
Who are you hoping will become prime minister? What would be a good result in your view as a result of this 5th round of elections?
Okay, let me first answer regarding what I don't want to happen. I hope Netanyahu will not get back. He's indicted, whatever. I hope that it will be Yair Lapid. I hope it will be Yair Lapid, our current temporary prime minister, and I'm going to vote for him. And second place, Gantz, our security minister. But I think that his party is a bit problematic because they have a mixture of right-wing people and left-wing people, and I don't know how they are going to decide on several, issues. So yeah, I'm more to the left side of the political map.
You were talking about 5th round of elections. Did your vote change in the course of those 3 years?
Okay, I don't even remember the first ones, but last time I voted for Gantz because I felt he's okay and he deserves it, but he was in a different constellation there is now. Now he has in his party also more people who are really right-wing people, like Gideon Sa'ar and some others. Yeah, I was okay with him, but previous elections I voted for Yair Lapid, the one I'm going to vote for now.
In this election, we've heard some of the Arab parties actually calling on Jewish voters to cast their vote in their favor. Is this something that you would consider?
What do you mean? Wow. Okay, so let's say I'm really for the participation of the Arab politicians, Arab countries in the coalition. I think it's time, I think it's important, but I'm not going that far to vote for them because I feel the main issue now is between the Jewish parties. Although every analyst says that what is going to happen with the voters in the Arab section will actually conclude what's going to be in the outcome. So the situation is really problematic. It's not easy.
In your opinion, who is to blame in this continuous stalemate in Israel's politics?
Wow. To be honest, what I spontaneously feel, I think it's Netanyahu, because actually most of the opponents of him, his party, are not against his party, the Likud. It's a big and honorable party for years, blah, blah, blah. Even my parents voted for it. But Netanyahu, who is, the head of the party for many years, he did many things that we are not supposed to hear about from a prime minister, got bribed, and etc. I don't want to darken his face now, but I think everybody knows he's in the middle of his trial. Many files in different situations he's indicted for, and I don't think that's the guy who should lead us forward and be our prime minister. He also wants to change the legal system, the court, whatever, in his favor only because of his trial and not because of the sake of the country and our democracy. I think it's very important now to really strengthen our democratic roots, and Netanyahu is not in this direction.
And last but not least, what do you think is the topic that most concerns Israelis today?
I'm not sure. I can't pick one issue that I'm sure that's the leading issue, in these elections. But there are some. Usually in previous elections, it was always in Israel, the peace or, talks with the Palestinian or not. We are going to give back some of the territories we conquered in the Six-Day War or not. That's actually the main division between left and right, okay? But now there is the cost of living, which I follow what's going on in the States. Just 3 days ago, we got in Europe a 10.7% inflation too. The whole world has this inflation and cost of rising costs, living costs. It should have been a more, central, I think, issue, but I'm not sure it is. And actually, what's going on today, we touched it a few minutes ago, it's what we call yes Bibi. Bibi is Benjamin Netanyahu. Yes Bibi, no Bibi. Or call leftish parties will be able, maybe not the very extreme one, Meretz, but will be willing to sit with the Likud. It's the biggest party in the same coalition, but only if the head of the party, Netanyahu, leaves politics or whatever, but is not the head of the Likud. So that's what also in the last two elections. Yes, Bibi, I'm for Bibi, then I can vote to the right-wing parties because they are going to form a coalition with him if he will be the one to form a coalition. And now Bibi, all the leftish parties don't want to hear about him and will not sit with him in a coalition. And that's what makes the situation so complicated. The minute he goes, we have a very large coalition of Yesh Atid, which is Yair Lapid's party, with the Likud, with the Avoda, with some other parties, okay? And we can form a unity between many parties, which will give us 4 years of a stable government.
Thank you so much, Ilana, for speaking with us.
You are welcome.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
we need
you.
it.
רק ביבי, חבר'ה, רק ליכוד גדול, ימנע ממשלת שמאל. רק ביבי, מחל, היידה!
So if you didn't understand this was of course only Bibi can prevent the rise of the left wing in Israel. We're seeing all around many cars that belong to Likud. Benjamin Netanyahu knows, as a political whiz, that it's all going to crunch down to the numbers, and the more people you get to the ballot, the more chances you have of getting that 61st, 62nd, 63rd seat in the Knesset that will allow you to establish your coalition government. And therefore you can see a lot of these cars on the road and a lot of these activists. You can see others as well, but the tension is quite palpable, and in the hope for finally in breaching the stagnation that has been in existence in Israeli politics. When exactly are we going to know what the results of the election is going to be? Because of the nature of these elections and because it's going to come down to the nearest vote, chances are, according to officials, that we may not know, even not tomorrow, maybe only on Thursday, will we get the real results, the final results of Israel's elections. We will be listening closely to the exit polls tonight to understand the direction, but many things can change from now until Thursday. If you remember, we spoke about Yamina, the new right-wing party of Bennett and Shaked of a couple of years ago, that did not even pass the electoral threshold, lacking 1,434 votes only. Such a scenario may definitely reoccur today with any of the other parties, which will affect the entirety of the political map in Israel and the establishment of a new coalition government. So this is a JBS Special Israel Elections coming to you all the way from Israel. We'll keep a close eye and keep on reporting. Thank you all for tuning in.